Hello guys, welcome to HRL Season 5, round number 14. We got Slinger Super Speedway, Moto 1 here, Luke 7, and Roman on the front row. We got Detail and Elite following them up in the second row. Right behind them in the third row, we got the red duo row with Uncle Blake and Vulcan. Then 7th and 8th going to have Opix and Beano 5. Coming up in 9th and 10th, Justice and Hunter unit. Following them up 11th and 12th, going to be Could Be Better and Fireball. And rounding out the entire field, in 13th is going to be Jake Speed. So here we go, as usual on ovals. As soon as they hit that white line right there, they're going to rip their engine to the max and go green, and there we go, green flag. Particularly, I'm going to be looking at how the outside guys do on this start, because I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult from that position. Looks like Luke's out to an early lead, and it's a very close, like, four-way battle for second place. Possibly a 4 wide, actually. Oh, Roman not going to be able to get the speed. Going to go on board with Opix here, I believe, because I think he's got just a nice view, nice little overview of everything that's going on here. Sorry if it's not Opix. Like I said, my preview screen is pretty small, so I try my best. Might be Elite. I believe it's Elite. And you can see Elite's just falling. Yeah, I think Opix is up there. Elite's just falling back here, losing a couple spots. Now trying to battle with Hunter. What the heck just happened there? No caution there, unfortunately, for Vulcan. You know, that lag thing that just happened. I don't know what to call it. That really sucks. Like, there's not much you can do about that. So unfortunately, he just counts as one car and not going to be a caution. Got a nice double 2 wides here. Hunter and Bean up front, and then we have Fireball and Elite here. Like I said, right there, and in one of the heat, I think it was the first heat maybe. Yeah, pretty sure it was the first heat. Definitely the fact that there's no walls on that outside come into play right there. I believe we were watching Elite there for a second, able to run off the track for just a little bit and come right back on with the fact that there's no walls. You know, no real danger in doing that. Just able to get right back in his line and start trying to gain again. But we got Fireball making big moves out here. Just pulled off that pass on Elite earlier. Now he just passed Bean and Hunter, but it's got Hunter battling back to his inside. So I think Fireball is going to have to go for like a clever crossover move here if he's going to want to overtake Hunter. Going to go on board now with Uncle Blake, who is in second, I believe. I think so. So this is Detail and Uncle Blake in a nice battle here for second. Detail's going to go for that slide job. Uncle Blake, pretty experienced oval racer, just going to hit him with the textbook crossover. Getting pretty tight on the outside, but leaving enough room. And now it's going to enter Roman in this battle as well. So him possibly trying to get by Uncle Blake here now too. Now we're going to go on board with Detail. Going to try to go for the slide move on Roman, and then tries to just barely get up to Uncle Blake there. Wasn't able to pull it off, but it was pretty close. Got to be pretty careful with your slide moves on here. And now Opix is coming to play as well. He wants to be involved in this. You can see Uncle Blake definitely getting a pretty big gap now with all this battling going on. But I mean, he'll definitely catch up to lap traffic. Lap traffic, if there's no cautions, lap traffic is going to play a big role in this race. 3 wide right there, and Detail was actually able to get the run off of the outside. And this might be huge for him. If he can be smart here and just get a good run on the outside, he might be able to get away from these guys. And it looks like it, so... now Opix and Roman are going to go back to battling, and Detail is going to settle in that 3rd place position. But we got a 3 wide here. It looks like Bean and Hunter are not done with Fireball, and they're trying to reclaim those spots that Fireball took earlier. Bean trying to work this inside. Got to be careful, you know. You don't want to dive too hard, then you'll just end up cheesing the guy on the outside and possibly the middle as well. So got to be careful with that. I think Fireball just gave up on working that outside, so he was like, screw it, I'm just gonna, you know, let them go by, get some good times in here, and try to work some more spots here soon. Speaking of which, making a nice run on Hunter on the outside, and then we got Bean and Opix here, I believe, battling as well. What the heck's going on? That was like a 3 wide there for a second. Possible crossover, looks like it. Man, this mid-pack battle is just not quitting, and it's going to be interesting here. We have two lap drivers that they're coming up on. They've got Jake Speed, who's on the inside, and he's sliding up a little bit. Jake Speed's trying to stay out of the way on the inside, and Bean here, I think, is just trying to maneuver his way around. Could be better before the rest of that pack catches up to him. Got to be careful when you're dicing your way through lap traffic. And all this, I thought Vulcan was just done earlier, but all this has opened up a door for Vulcan, and it looks like there's still a couple spots that he could possibly regain here. So not bad for Vulcan, the fact that, you know, he possibly still has some work to do. And Vulcan trying to catch up to Elite here. We got Justice behind him. Justice not as strong on this track so far as he was on Manitowoc. Here we're going to go back to this battle. It looks like Detail starting to make moves on Uncle Blake, and with all that battling, Roman's caught up, and now we're going to have a 3-wide battle for second. This is definitely going to lead to some sort of crossover here for sure. Wow, really? I'm genuinely surprised. It's got to be a crossover at some point here. Blake's going to go for, yep, there he goes. Going to go for the crossover now. Going to get side by side on the inside with Roman. Here comes Detail with the dive. It's going to be another 3-wide. Reverse order, 5 minutes left in this moto as well, which is plenty of time, really. That's a lot of time. Another crossover from Roman, back to 3-wide. And yeah, this is going to be interesting, this second place battle between these guys. Looks like Roman lost a little bit of ground there in the inside that time. Detail coming up with the slide job. Just gets in front of Blake. Doesn't put him in the wall, but just gets in front of him. And that's going to be a successful slide job. Now the question is Blake going to go for a move of his own? Because the problem with this slide job is that you're on the inside for one lap, so even when you slide up on the outside guy, you're still, you know, you're not going to have as much outside momentum as that guy did. So that outside guy will be able to catch right back up to you in most cases. But Blake, you know, possibly with some Halo 5 inexperience right there, trying to work Detail, ended up catching a little bit of second gear, it seemed like. So he lost a little bit of ground there. Now he's going to be in a battle for third with Roman. So just a little bit of Halo 5 inexperience there out of Blake. I think that the more he plays this game, the more he'll figure out stuff like that and iron that out. So we're gonna go to Luke here on the on board with the lead, and I wanted to switch to his perspective here because this is where it gets kind of interesting, because this entire, all those people in front of him, lap traffic. So just imagine you're in the lead in this situation and you catch up to literally like the entire pack of lap traffic. This is gonna be very interesting for him to dice his way through, and I tried to turn around there to show you guys how big of a gap he has as well, to show like what's going on here, if there could be a lead battle if he gets stuck in lap traffic. But the gap looked oh man, Avic's getting really cheesy there. Yeah, the gap looks quite big. I mean, it might even be a straightaway gap on Detail, who's in second place. So I think that was Elite getting a nice 2-wheel popped right there. It's very dangerous. But yeah, Luke's just like steadily working his way through the inside, about halfway through the lap traffic, and if he's going to get through that much lap traffic like that, then I think the chances for second place to catch up are looking a little slim. You know, like if he got stuck behind that 3-wide that was going on for a little bit, then I think we could see, you know, possibly a slow up. But at the same time, it's not really like this blue flag pack is slow. You know what I mean? They're not slow. It's just they've done so much battling, whereas Luke's been on his own, and it's allowed him to catch up to him. So, and yeah, so that's second place right there. So around when Detail hits the front stretch finish line is around when Luke would hit the back stretch if there was a finish line on it. So that just gives you an idea of the gap here. And I don't think Detail will have to work with the lap traffic at all. Maybe like the back 2 rows, maybe. Other than that, I don't think he'll have to dice his way through the whole thing. Which is probably a good thing. 2 minutes left here. It's probably a good thing if you're in, let's say his position in second. You got 2 drivers not that far behind you in third and fourth. You know, it's probably a good thing that you're not going to have to deal with that much lap traffic, if any lap traffic at all. Whereas if there was enough laps to where he had to dice his way through the whole pack with people that close behind him, then I'd be worried. Because even though he's in the lead with Luke's situation, it's such a huge lead that at that point it doesn't really matter, you know? Like, you could get slowed up a lot and you still should be good as long as you don't get wrecked. Whereas with how close the gaps are for second, third, and fourth, that's where I'd start to get worried. that's definitely where spots would be put in jeopardy. And it looks like Detail is starting to work it, caught up to those guys surprisingly fast. It looks like he is starting to lap one driver and possibly catching up to that 3 wide as well. I decided to go to a wide shot here. I always wanted to do a shot like this on a small oval, just get like a nice little overhead view because I think it's, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. 1 minute remaining. But yeah, just watch a couple laps like this. I don't know, I always thought it'd be cool to have an overhead view for a little bit. Try to do it on Grizzly, but Grizzly is just like too enclosed. More possible on this track. But look at this Detail catching up to lap traffic. This is going to get really interesting because you could see a battle for second, possibly even Blake get up here as well with all the battling that'll go on here. So Detail's just trying to work his way by the inside and slide job his way because, you know, you don't, when you're lapping these guys, you don't want to ruin their battle because they still have their battle for position going on. But at the same time, it's like your position definitely takes priority because, you know, one, you're blue flagging them. Two, you're the higher position in on the track. So it's one of those things where like you try not to screw them up, but you know if it's your race versus theirs, then it's your race. That's absolutely how it is most of the time. Sometimes the blue flaggers think that way though, and I don't really disagree, or I don't really agree with that. 3 laps to go though, not that much time left. On board here with is this with Blake? On here, yeah, on board here with Blake. 2 laps to go, not that much time remaining. Looks like we'll have some good battles in that middle pack, but I think these top spots are settled here at Slinger. Final lap, white flag. Just going to take one more lap around the track. Going to follow it there through turns 3 and 4. Clean lap. Looks like that is going to be checkered flag for Luke. Second place is going to be Detail. Third Roman, fourth Blake, and then I don't know where it is from there. There's so much lapped action. I mean, I'll have to see the results. I believe that was a close photo finish there. I think Vulcan got Bean. Close photo finish there. Too close to call. I couldn't really call that one from this angle. We'll see it in a second. So we got the Vulcan Bean photo finish. I think that one was pretty easy to tell. But then we got this photo finish. This one was impressive. We got Opix on the inside, Elite on the outside, and as you can see, Opix just barely edged him out on the inside. There was a very close finish though. Got your full results on screen there. You can see where some of those guys that were mid-pack finished. Great first moto, honestly. A lot of good action. Some of that lap traffic action was really interesting and overall pretty fun to watch. So see you guys for the second one.